I always loved that show, We Bare Bears, We Bare Bears on Cartoon Network. The show was quite new. Yeah, I really loved it. Like one is a panda, one is a grizzly bear, and one's a polar bear. This is really funny. This show. It's about they go to the city and they start a new life as humans, but they're really bears. So it all started in nightmares. It all started at my cousin's house. She had lots of DVDs she bought from stores or that. And she always gets me a couple when I go home. So one day I wanted We Bare Bears. I wanted to see if she had the DVD because I heard they got it on DVD. So she had one. She said she had one copy of We Bare Bears. But the weirdest thing is there was no cover. And I said, what's wrong with the cover? Where is it? And she said it's probably got lost by other people who had it. So I never minded. So when I went back home, there was a cover. I said, what the? I thought the cover just vanished like it appeared, but the cover was only at the back, so it wasn't scary. I only seen 3 of them weren't smiling. 3 of them were just standing there lonely and sad. So I just said, this probably be a sad episode or something. But there was nothing what it said. When I was putting the tape in, the most scariest thing ever. Grizzly has moved. His smile is giant. He has black eyes. So I threw the DVD. I said, "Oh my god!" But I literally thought it was my hallucination. So I watched. Well, the same theme song started, but it was backwards. They were unhappy at the credits, and then it started. And then the episode was called Lost. I said, lost? They probably got lost, I said. But it all started at the house. I seen Panda unhappy doing letters, and Polar Bear came in unhappy, and Polar Bear says to Panda, do you have anything to eat? And then, this is creepy, but Panda comes with a bat and says, no food for you tonight, he says. And Polar Bear's like, but please, you kicked me out for days, he said. And he says, you should learn that, you pig. Called him a pig. I said, what the hell? He whacked Polar Bear and he cried. He says, get out my house now. Get out my house now, screaming. So Polar Bear went out. And Panda sat back, unhappy, doing letters. But Grizzly wasn't in the episode. It's called Lost. This episode, I think Grizzly was lost and they went fighting each other. I thought that happened, but it was scarier. When Polar Bear came back the next day, he says, please let me in. And Panda says, why do you want to win when Grizzly is dead, he said. And I said, what? Grizzly was dead. And when Grizzly died, he's not in the episode. When Grizzly, he said he died, Polar Bear says, who cares? Just let me in. And Panda, refuge, with an unhappy face. He smiled and said, you shouldn't have done that, he said. He took the baseball bat again and whacked him. But they had realistic eyes at this bit, and there's blood. Like, the Polar Bear had blood on his head because realistic blood getting whacked by a baseball bat. And then Polar Bear just cried. So slept in the shed. But Panda, he wouldn't leave Polar Bear alone. So he done the most stubborn thing. He smiled, got his nails and stuck them on the baseball bat. And he went in and smelled. He kept laughing. Polar Bear said, please don't do this. And he says, I'm God. Who cares, he said. He kills Polar Bear refuge. Whacks him multiple of times with the nailed baseball bat. And Grizzly, he actually showed up, but he was a ghost. He smiled and said, kept laughing. Panda, he committed suicide. He put the baseball bat down and dropped refuge, he just dropped himself on the ground and he got stabbed in the face with the bat. And everybody was dead. And all them three, blood everywhere on them. Blood everywhere. Saying, you shouldn't have done that. Multiple times they said it. I got really scared. I wanted to turn off the tape, but it wouldn't turn off. And Grizzly, I thought he could understand me. He said, come on, this is near the end anyway. I got really terrified. He said, it's near the end anyway. So I just continued to watch. But I just never wanted to. So I tried to open my door to get out of my house, but all the doors were locked. So I continued. And the last scene is you see the letters full of blood. Let's stick children's fingers on the letter. On the fingers. On the fingers. And you heard screams at the background. And the shed. It went back to the shed where Polar Bear was sleeping, starving to death. But Panda beaten up ages ago, yeah. You seen his head and you heard screams and you seen his eyes were bloody red. And it went to Grizzly. This was a really cool twist, but it was disturbing. Panda killed Grizzly. I really thought Panda did, but Panda wasn't the cause of Grizzly. Panda killed Polar Bear because Polar Bear killed Grizzly. You thought that he was the nicest character in the cartoon, but Polar Bear really murdered Grizzly. I'll tell you how it happened. See the bit when he says, can I come back in the house? Yeah. Went back to that bit, and he says, why should I? Or that crap. That means that he murdered Grizzly. So that's why you only let him in. And he killed him because he killed Grizzly. And I went back to Grizzly. You seen a knife, white fur, so that means Polar Bear was there. And you seen Grizzly keep twitching. And then it says, I am God, and jump scared me, Grizzly. And then the episode ended. I never want to see wee bears again. So it turned off. I went back to my cousin and said, where the hell did you got this from? I said. She says I got it from a store from Scotland somewhere. A Scottish store. Creepiest found that she went to a place from far away to get the DVD from on eBay. She said, I never want to watch Wee Bear Bears again.